Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Uzma Jafri. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Wednesday, the 13th of February. Two terrorists neutralized in encounter in India's Jammu and Kashmir. Chilling video shows Pakistani army relentlessly shooting unarmed Baloch civilian. And Afghan poll body commissioners dismissed as election law amended. And now for all the details. Security forces gunned down two terrorists in an encounter in Budgam district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province early on Wednesday. This came after one terrorist was neutralized in a similar encounter in Pulwama district of the province on Tuesday.
Two terrorists were neutralized by security forces in an encounter in Budgam district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province on Wednesday. The encounter broke out on Tuesday evening after security forces launched search operations upon specific inputs about presence of terrorists in Gopalpura area of the district. Arms and ammunition were also recovered from the site of the encounter. This came a day after one terrorist was killed in a similar encounter that broke out in Pulwama district of the province. One army personnel also lost his life in the gunfight with terrorists in Pulwama. India accuses neighbouring Pakistan of arming and infiltrating terrorists across the border to spread unrest in Kashmir Valley. Pakistan denies the allegations.
A video showing the Pakistani army brutally killing an unarmed Baloch person in Balochistan has gone viral. The video is being deemed as a window into the brutalities borne by innocent Baloch persons at the hands of the Pakistani security forces.
A chilling video which has gone viral shows the Pakistani army brutally killing an unarmed Baloch man at an undisclosed location in Balochistan. The video shows the man being dragged out of his house by Pakistani army before bullets are relentlessly fired at him by a group of security personnel. The graphic video is being deemed as a window into the brutalities borne by Baloch people every day at the hands of the Pakistani establishment. Several human rights activists have held regular protests across the globe to highlight that Pakistani forces use extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearances as means to muzzle dissenting voices in Balochistan. They allege thousands of innocent Baloch persons have gone missing over the past years and have been killed by Pakistani security forces. They have been protesting worldwide to seek help from the international community and human rights organizations.
Moving on, people in illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan region have intensified their resistance against the local as well as the federal government of Pakistan for putting innocent activists and politicians behind bars. A protest was recently held demanding immediate release of activist Baba Jan, who has been languishing in jail for years.
A fresh round of protests have erupted for the immediate release of Gilgit-Baltistan activist Baba Jan, who has been languishing in jail for demanding rights for the people of the region. The protesters claim that Baba Jan is innocent and is being subjected to torture because he dared to speak against the establishment's ill treatment of people. Baba Jan is serving jail term after being convicted by an anti-terrorism court in 2011 for participating in a mass movement seeking compensation for survivors of a landslide which killed several and rendered hundreds homeless.
हमें बेवकूफ मत बनाए। बाबा जान का दो ही जुर्म है। एक तो इसका जुर्म ये है कि इसने गिलगित-बल्तिस्तान के अवाम को जगाया। इसने कहा तुम्हारे साथ जो कुछ हो रहा है यह गलत हो रहा है। असल कहानी ये है तुम्हें गलत ट्रैक पर लगाया जा रहा है। और बाबा जान का दूसरा सबसे बड़ा जुर्म ये है कि वो आपके राजा के आपके गवर्नर के बेटे के मुकाबले में नशा लड़ रहा था।
वो अफराद की जो जिनको पाबंदी सलासिल किया जाता है, जिनकी आवाज़ को दबाने की कोशिश की जाती है, उनको बोलने नहीं दिया जा रहा होता है। उसकी वजह ये होती है कि वो अफराद अपने इलाके की तरक्की की बात करते हैं।
The Pakistani system has on more than one occasion misused the draconian laws which have on purpose been framed to keep the people of the illegally occupied region under check. Activists have long accused the government of systematically launching crackdowns on the people who try to educate and aware commoners about the nefarious designs of Pakistan.
In news from Afghanistan, Afghanistan's poll body commissioners have been dismissed as election law of the country was amended on Tuesday. This came amid allegations that the elections held in October last year were riddled with fraud and mismanagement.
All commissioners from Afghanistan's Independent Election Commission and the Independent Electoral Complaints Commission were dismissed from their posts after President Ashraf Ghani signed off an amendment to the electoral law. Ghani approved the amendment on Tuesday, which resulted in the instant dismissal of the commissioners, including Abdul Badi Sayyid and Azizullah Ariyai, the chiefs of the two electoral commissions. Discussions and consultations over the draft amendment started earlier this month and was unanimously endorsed by all groups before being approved by Ghani's cabinet. The commissioners, who are 12 in total, were appointed to the posts in November 2016 as part of government's efforts to ensure transparent and fair parliamentary elections. However, the elections held in October last year were allegedly riddled with fraud and mismanagement. This move comes amid ongoing criticism levelled at the commissioners, who have still not released the final results for October's elections for 15 provinces.
More on news from Afghanistan. Roya Rahmani, Afghanistan's envoy to United States, has said that women's rights are not negotiable in efforts to reach peace with the Taliban. Afghan women have expressed fears over the looming prospect that the hardline Islamist group, whose rule barred women from education, could once again become part of the government.
Afghanistan's ambassador to the United States, Roya Rahmani, has welcomed prospects for peace with the Taliban but said when it comes to women's rights, there is little room for negotiation. Rahmani has said the rights of women is not a negotiable factor and must be preserved.
We are hoping, and this is why we are hoping that the negotiations will result in fruitful results. The Afghan government was the first, based on the people's demand and wishes, to roll out a peace proposal for the very first time last February. And the rights of women, I believe, is not a negotiable factor. It has to be there, it has to be preserved.
As talks to end Afghanistan's long war pick up momentum, women in the country fear the freedoms eked out since US-backed Afghan forces overthrew the Taliban in 2001 are about to slide backwards. They fear the looming prospect that the hardline Islamist group, whose rule barred women from education, could once again become part of the government. US officials have held several rounds of talk with the Taliban in Doha since last year. The US team, led by Special Envoy Zalmay Khalilzad, is due to meet Taliban representatives there again later this month.
An elephant's camp is capturing and reforming wild tuskers in southern India who otherwise wreak havoc in villages near forest areas. Around 26 elephants and 4 baby elephants are currently housed at the camp, which is also attracting tourists.
An elephant camp in India's southern Karnataka province is known for capturing and reforming wild elephants who otherwise wreak havoc in nearby villages. Around 26 elephants and 4 baby elephants are currently housed at Sakrebailu Elephant Camp, which was established in early 1965. The camp is known for reforming and housing wild elephants who attack villages and destroy crops in and around Shimoga city.
पानी नहलाते हैं ना, वो तो बहुत अच्छा दिखेगा और बहुत देखने के लिए और ट्रैवल करने, हाथी के ऊपर बैठने के लिए जो भी है ना, बहुत अच्छा है। सफारी करने के लिए तो बहुत अच्छा है और प्लेस बहुत अच्छी है। फैमिली के साथ आके देखने के लिए तो बेस्ट प्लेस है।
The reformed elephants at the camp are sent for forest patrolling purposes and in some cases for religious festivals. Elephants are deeply revered in India, where the elephant-headed god Ganesha is one of the most popular in the Hindu pantheon and is also considered lucky. India has more than 50% of Asiatic elephants. However, its population has been dwindling due to the frequent poaching for its ivory.
An exhibition was organized on Tuesday by the Western Railways in India's financial capital Mumbai to create awareness among the people about the railway's historical past. Scores of visitors gathered to witness working models of railway engines and steam locomotives displayed in the exhibition.
With an objective of celebrating the glorious history of the Indian Railways, a unique exhibition was organized by the Western Railways in India's financial capital Mumbai on Tuesday. In the exhibition, the working models of iconic railway engines and steam locomotives, train headlights, brass lamps and lanterns were displayed for the visitors. Scores of visitors, especially school children, gathered at the Heritage Bandra station to witness the exhibition and know about the equipments used by the railways in the past.
हमने ये एक एग्जीबिशन यहाँ प्लान की है जिसमें हमने हमारे पुराने जो हेरिटेज ट्रेन्स की जो स्टीम लोकोमोटिव्स का जो एरा था, उसके अलावा जो हमारे पुराने हेरिटेज स्टेशन बिल्डिंग्स हैं, वर्किंग मॉडल्स वगैरह हमने लगाए हैं। पुराने हमने विभिन्न मंडलों से जो एग्जिबिट्स मंगा के यहाँ प्रदर्शित किए हैं ताकि आज की जो जनरेशन है उनको रेलवे का जो किस तरीके का गौरवशाली अतीत रहा है उसके बारे में कुछ जानकारी मिले।
ये सब पुराने ज़माने के मतलब स्टेशन कैसे थे और मतलब सब पुराने ज़माने में जो ट्रेनें थी वो सब थे।
Mumbai's suburban railway system ferries 8 million commuters every day and is considered as the lifeline of the city. The network remains severely overcrowded during peak hours, when the number of passengers exceed the network's carrying capacity by more than 4 times.
A 3-day-long cultural festival was organized recently in India's eastern Bhubaneswar city, in which artists from across the country performed various dance forms. The festival is organized every year to propagate the message of peace.
With an objective of preserving and promoting the rich cultural heritage of India's eastern Odisha province, the annual Dholi Kalinga Mahotsav or festival was recently organized in its capital city, Bhubaneswar. During the 3-day-long festival, artists hailing from across India performed Dishi, Kathak, Bharatnatyam and various other classical dance forms. They also displayed country's ancient martial art form, Kalarepattu, which was highly applauded by the audience. The festival is aimed at propagating the message of peace popularized by the ancient Indian king Ashoka. It celebrates the country's legacy of cultural coexistence and helps in promoting the tourism potential of the province.
For last 15 years, Odisha Dance Academy, which was founded by my Guruji, Guru Sri Gangadhar Pradhan, we have been organizing this festival, Dholi Mahotsav.
We've come here with the round table of Bhubaneswar, and it has been quite a large experience for us to see this today, especially the multicultural. We're not used to this in Denmark, but very, very large experience, especially the last vision about your city and what it is going to be. It's a very, very good experience.
The Dholi and Kalinga festivals were started as 2 separate festivals, but they were clubbed as Dholi Kalinga Festival in 2011 to preserve, promote and popularize the cultural heritage of the province at national and international level.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on southasianewsline.com. You can also visit us on facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.